Hi friend, I hope everybody is doing well. Today was a very rainy, gloomy day in Ohio. However, I was feeling quite inspired when I seen my tiger lilies have opened up. So I thought it would give us great inspiration to try painting one. Sometimes when you can't plein air, you gotta improvise. And sometimes you can sit by your window and look outside and see what nature has. So I went ahead and I plucked this flower so we would have some lovely inspiration. And I went ahead and I sketched it ahead of time. And I made sure it was dark enough where you guys could see. Now, what I did is I went ahead and if you look at the tiger lily, it's like a star. So what I did was, because I am not the strongest drawer, I am learning, and so I went ahead and did some lines, and I kind of had a center here, and it's not perfect. The flower is not perfect, but it's definitely gonna give us what we needed. So then I went ahead and did the petals, and they're not perfect by any means, but that's okay. So I went ahead and did the petal shapes, and then I went in the center and I erased the lines, and there's still a few. And if you look at the flower, the petal kind of goes around. And I know I could have made these curl a bit more, but that's okay. It's not perfect, but I figured that this would be a good practice, so. And then if you look here, the one petals go in front of the other, so you definitely want to make sure you erase the lines behind it. And that's what I'm doing. And then each of these kind of have a line in the center of them. And if you guys hear noise, it's like I said, the rain's really coming down, so. Okay, so we got the base of shape. And then these are the long things. So, I'm gonna go ahead and I wanna rub some of this out so it's not so dark. But I wanted you guys to be able to see it. So I wasn't sure how I was gonna draw it, so I need to start doing the drawing process with you guys as well, but I'm just not the most confident. YouTube for me has been quite challenging. I'm typically a very shy person, and I got into YouTube because I wanted to maybe make a difference in somebody's life, to show that they can do it. But one of these days, soon, I will tell why I got into painting and stuff. Well, I had a lot of stress. My oldest son has cerebral palsy and he's legally blind. He was a preemie, so I've had a lot of stress over the years with that. And I struggle with confidence, and a lot of that is a really hard subject for me to talk about. And it's almost like the elephant in the room. Nobody ever wants to talk about it. So when I do go to talk about it and stuff, it's just hard. But what I'm about ready to talk about is a sensitive matter. And so if there's any young children watching, which there should not be, because this is a adult channel, but if there is, now would be the time to not be watching, I guess to say. But I just don't think it's for kids' ears. But basically, I was married for 10 years, and my ex-husband was extremely abusive. I went through 10 years of abuse, actually over that. And so it was really hard to get out of. And so when I decided to start a YouTube channel, it took a lot of courage that I am trying to find. And I'm going over it with cadmium yellow. And then I'm going to go ahead and take some cadmium orange and add it to the mix and go back over it. I don't think it's dark enough. But it was really hard to get out. And when you go through all them years of abuse, it takes a lot of courage to get out. So I am a domestic violence survivor. My ex-husband was extremely violent, and I went through many years of him stalking. I finally got away, and so now I'm on the road to recovery. So I started originally coloring in adult coloring books to deal with the stress of everything. To this day, it's just kind of hard. And I'm adding some Indian red to this. But it's just, like I said, when you've gone through as much as that, and the actual grounds of my divorce was extreme cruelty. So it's just been a lot. But I started this career with adult coloring. And after my dad died, it was just really hard to get back into the coloring part. He was such a big part of my coloring adventure. He would buy my coloring books and my coloring pencils sometimes if there was one I needed, and just a lot of memories with him with it. So it was just really hard. And then I seen a video from Emma LaFave, and I tried painting along, and I was able to do it. And it helped my confidence so much. So I tried another video, and it was successful. And it may not have been the perfect painting, but it was what I needed at the time. And I guess I still do. And since then, it has been a rabbit hole I have gone down. I can honestly say that. I think I feel most alive when I'm painting. So, that's the story of me. I hope I didn't bore you or scare you off. I'll probably lose quite a few subscribers over this one, but that's okay. It's just a taboo thing to talk about. But regardless, know that if there is anybody watching who is a domestic violence survivor, just know you're not alone. And if you're going through any domestic violence, you need to get out. Get out when you can and seek the help you need to get out. Because I can tell you right now, I was one of the lucky ones. I was able to. So, enough of that. Now you know why I feel so insecure and why I paint to help with my mental status. And I am taking the cadmium yellow, cadmium orange mix. And I'm going through like every other one. Because you gotta remember, I'm trying to think, okay, this one's on top, this one, because you kind of gotta see what's on top, what's not. And then I'm gonna put this over top of that. So those are both over there. Because you got to think, because some of the leaves are over top of the other ones. So I want to make sure I do that right. And I don't. So now these are dry. I can go ahead and go to this one. Oh, wait. Gotta put the Indian red into it. I really enjoy the color of Indian red. I think it's such a lovely color. Now we'll probably go back over this in certain areas because I'm gonna want it darker. So I think I'll go to this one. Boy, that wind's really blowing too. Okay. And going down. And this is going to be, I think, very pretty when it's done. I've been gotten really into flowers. I know they're kind of hard for me, I think, in a way, compared to like landscapes, but I'm getting better the more I practice it. However, I still feel roses are so hard. I don't know why, but I think they are. I don't know if maybe I'm doing them right and it just don't look right to me. But I don't know. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add some more of this Indian red. And I'm using more paint than water because I don't want it to, I'm using better paper right now, but I've been trying to practice a lot with, I have the Canson watercolor paper, and it's like the XL one, and it's not the greatest paper, but my neighbor had given it to me, so I got a lot of it. And I don't like wasting, and paper is so expensive. And I prefer to work on 100% cotton paper, but the Canson isn't bad to practice on, and it works great for gouache, so I can use it for that. Okay, so I got the orange, and then I want to take some of this Indian red once again, and why it's wet, I'm going to do this wet on wet technique. And just add some dots in. Okay. And when you do this, I have been having, here lately, I have been, you do not want to do that, but this is what I've been doing lately, and I have no idea why. It's been awful. Plus, I'm kind of tired today. This weather makes you so tired, I think. Okay. Hopefully it will remove it, but whatever. Okay, there we go. That's a lot better. So you want to try to be careful and avoid that. I don't know why I've been doing that, but I have been doing that to almost every single one of my paintings here lately. And it is really annoying. So now I'm going to go ahead and do this last one. And on this one, because I have the things that hang down, I put them here. I gotta leave the light area so I can be able to do that. So with the Indian red, being mindful of that, I wanna excuse me, kind of work around that. Okay. And then put a couple there. And then we'll wait for this to dry, and then we'll go ahead and add more color if need be, and the little line things, and the rest of the detail. Okay, now that this is dry, I am gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start adding some more details. So I if you look on here, this is actually pretty dark. So I think I'm gonna take some alizarin, permanent alizarin crimson, or I think this is the alizarin crimson because I'm using Cotman, the Winsor & Newton Cotman. So I'm gonna go ahead and mix Indian red and permanent alizarin. And I think I'm gonna take a hint of this dark, and I think it's Payne's Gray, and that color, I want to make sure you can see it, is I think a lot closer to the color there. So now I'm gonna go ahead okay, before I do that, I want to go ahead and take, and there's these things in here, and I want to undraw those. So taking some of this cadmium yellow, mixing it here. I'm going to make sure I'm in screen so you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay. A little bit of the orange, because I want it to be more yellow than orange. Okay. And making sure it's a thicker consistency. I'm gonna draw those lines. Sorry, I'm not trying to, I just want to make sure my arm. And trying to keep my hand out of the way as well is always challenging. It's a lot harder to paint and record and all that as people. It's not as easy as people think. Okay. Sorry about the angle of the palette, but this way I can move my hand and I don't have to worry about getting paint. So these are like those pieces. Okay. So we got those, and then our long bits here. And then we're gonna add the color to the end. Okay. And then taking some of this color. And mind you, we're doing this just loosely, guys. It's not gonna be like all the way perfect. And I am using, I don't know if I said this or not, I cannot remember, but I am using my Silver Black Velvet size 2 round brush. And it works very well for details. I don't always like the silver black velvets for everything, but I'm really finding I like it for this size for detail. It gives me a really fine point. I have a size 6 in it as well, but I had an accident go bad in my studio. So, needless to say, I have to order a new brush. FYI, don't drop stuff on it. So, what I'm going to do is, okay, I'm going to try to do this. It has, these petals have real tiny, tiny, tiny little dots. I'm going to show you guys one and then I'm going to speed it up because if not, we will be here all a day. But when this is done, it is going to look so awesome. Okay. And then towards the bottom, taking some more of that color. And not going over that yellow, that line that we put in there, and trying to keep this close. And this is why a small detail brush comes in handy. And it's not gonna be exactly the same. But it'll definitely get the point across of what it is. Okay, just gonna butt that up right next to it. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this and then we're going to go ahead and speed it up. Okay, so now we're on the last one, and I took us off the speed mode for this one because I wanted you guys to be able to see what I'm getting ready to do. So this one has those stringy things. I'm not sure what part of the flower is called, to be honest, so I'm not gonna just make it up, but those on the flower is these things. Whatever part of the flower that's called. I am by far not a flower specialist. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and make a little bit more of a mix. Our alizarin crimson, our Indian red, and our Payne's gray. And it makes that lovely like wine color. Okay, so bringing this to our sharp point, and what I want to do is we're gonna do some negative painting. And this is always a struggle to me, I think. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna do very small dots where they're close together, because down there the colors is a lot brighter and darker, and it's not like really like spaced out like this, you know, it's like solid. However, we can't do that on this petal, because what we want to do is we're going to go in between those spaces of the antenna and kind of dot it, making those little lines. But we want to definitely like stay and do the negative painting. Okay. Making kind of lines, because we want those to be able to tell that. Okay. So now we can go back on and start doing our dots again. And we are almost done. I am very, very pleased on how this is actually turning out. The key is just taking your time. And actually, I probably could have gone with even a smaller brush for this part. Okay. I would say it's not perfect by any means. But I am very pleased how it turned out. Not too bad. Thanks everybody for watching. If you like what you see, please hit the like and subscribe. It really lets YouTube know that you enjoyed it, and this way they can recommend me to other people. Thanks everybody. Bye.